A very good morning to all of you. So we'll be starting our session today. Today we would be talking about analytical reasoning questions, and on Thursday we'll be discussing international organizations, a very important part for your CSAT prelims examination. So when we begin with the analytical section, it's very important that you have the passage based questions. So you would have a passage based on which there would be 3 to 4 questions that would be there. So we have the first passage, and with the first passage we have the first surprise question for you immediately after the passage. So just read the passage very carefully. So here goes your first passage. Yes, Deepa, we would definitely consider the environmental management system standards at a priority. So this schedule is about to end on 25th of April. Starting May, we have a new schedule for your NTA NET examination, mainly catering to the new topics. So you can just check it out there. So now here we have the first surprise question for you. Looking for the correct answers for the first surprise question. So based on this, you have to answer which book would be on the bottom shelf. So I'll just change the question for a while for you. Okay, so that's the question. Which subject is on the bottom shelf? Looking for the correct answer for the first question. Looking for the first correct answer. Now these are analytical questions. The best way is to draw a diagram or a table or a chart. Once you are done with that, Rahmat has the first correct answer. Great going, Rahmat. Please send in your details at admin@examrace.com. Good. So let's begin with understanding this question. Now here you have 6 books that are there. The first statement shows there is 2 shelves between B and F. So I mark B, I have 2 shelves left, and then I have F shelf. So based on this, there could be 2 more combinations. So there are total 6 shelves that are there. So those 2 shelves could be either above F, it could be a combination of 2 shelves below F, okay, or it could be a combination of 1 shelf below F and 1 shelf above F. Now we'll first find out which of these 3 conditions will work. The next sentence says B is always below F and there are 2 gaps. So F and B we have already arranged clearly. So first 2 sentences are done. The next sentence says neither A nor E could be immediately below or above shelf B. So E cannot be placed here, E cannot be placed here, and E cannot be placed here, immediately below or above. So in this case you have to have D and E with only 1 shelf gap. Okay, so there should be only 1 shelf between D and E. So that cannot be possible in this case, because here you cannot have E at these 2 locations. So if this is D, you have to have E somewhere here. So this condition cannot be fulfilled. So I just remove this condition. Now in this case you can have D and E here. That's true. But there is another condition which says A is not on an odd number shelf. So if A and E are not close to here, A should be somewhere here, but difference between A and D should be of one set. So if A is here, D should be here, and A cannot be here because A cannot be on odd number. So it's 1, 2, 3. So 1 and 3 cannot be A because it's near to B as well as it is odd number. So if A is anywhere on this or this, then the gap between D and E would be more than 1. So again this cannot be the possibility. So I rule out this. Now the only possibility that is left is this one. Here you see that B you cannot have E close to it. Okay, so what could be a possible location? It could be E or D here and E or D here. Now the next important thing is A is not on an odd number shelf. So A cannot be on this or this. So where could be A? A could be here or A could be here. But it's clearly said that A is not close to B. So A cannot be here. So where can be A? The only place A can be is here. Now the next statement says E is not on a shelf immediately below or above the shelf C. So E and C cannot be close by. So if I am marking C here, E cannot be here. So what can be here is D. And since D is here, E would be here. Okay. So my order would be on the topmost, it would be A, then E, followed by F, followed by D, C and B. So that would be my correct order. Based on this order, which would be on the bottom? So bottom would be the B one. That's clear. I hope that's clear. So a lot of you with correct answer. Padma, Indresh, Roshan, great going. Okay, good. The next question based on the same is, on which of the shelf are the books of subject F capped? So you already have A, E, F, D, C and B. Now on which shelf is F? So that's the question. Now you directly have the answer for this. So once you do these kind of questions correctly, you would automatically have the answer for it. No. There is something that you missed out, Oshin and Alka here. I'll move back to the question. And the question says, the bottom shelf is the first shelf and the top one is the sixth one. And there is the catch. So you have the bottom one which is the first. Now tell me on which is F. So again a little of silly mistake by lot of you. So make sure you read the question. Great. So Rahmat has the right answer again. So it's the fourth shelf. That's the correct answer. Okay. The next question based on the same is, how many shelves are there between C and E? So again I write it as it was A, E, F. Then you had D, C and B. So how many shelves between C and E? So what would be the answer? For question third, the right answer? A. So right answer would be 2. So there are 2 shelves between those. I hope this is clear. This was a kind of simple question. So again in this, if once you do the question correctly, you have the right answers for you. The next question is pretty simple. So how many straight lines are required to construct this diagram? Question 4, looking for the correct answer. So please mention the question number along with the choice. Question 4, looking for the correct answer. Great, Archana has the right answer. So this question is pretty simple. What you have to do is understand you have a square, another square and a bigger rectangle. So 2 squares, 4 sides each. So you have 8, one rectangle with 4 sides, so you have 4 more. Okay, so that makes it 12, and then you have one line cutting all of those, so plus 1, and that's 13 straight lines are required to form this diagram. I hope that's clear. Okay, great. Now the next question, again a surprise question, again a passage based question. So here you go. You have the information that's here. The question says, on which day you would have Frida that would leave? So Frida would leave on which of the following days? Is the question. Based on this information, you have to draw a diagram. So I'll just start with a little of information here. Okay, so you have various people which are there. So 7 people, you have to mark 7 locations and 7 days. Everyone is leaving on a different day. The day starts from Monday, so the last day would be what? The last day would be Sunday. Looking for the first correct answer? None of the answers is correct so far. Looking for the correct answer? No, Ocean, sorry, I wrongly mentioned it. The answer is not correct. Okay, I believe there is lot of confusion. So let me start solving the question. In the meanwhile, if a right answer comes, that would be the right answer for the question. So let's begin solving it. Now you have Selena left for Jaipur on Monday. So let's fill up the easy ones. So Selena left for Jaipur on Monday, that is known. Jensen left for Delhi. So Jensen left for Delhi, that is also known. Then you have Pinto leaves the next day after John, who left for Chandigarh. So John left for Chandigarh, that is also known. Okay. The next is George left for Patiala on Friday. So George left for Patiala on Friday. So 3 of the locations are already covered. So Delhi covered, you have Patiala covered, you have Chandigarh covered, and you have Jaipur covered. Now 3 of the cities remain. So let's first fill out the cities. Now it says Frida does not leave for Nainital or Bangalore. So where would Frida go? The only option that's left is Agra. So let me fill up Agra here. Okay. Now Pinto and Naomi left with Nainital and Bangalore. So I'll leave those for a while. Now read the sentence carefully. Pinto left the next day after John, who left for Chandigarh on the previous day of Jensen. So Pinto left on the next day of John, and this was on the previous day of Jason. That means all of these 3 left in a sequence. We already know Monday and Friday are occupied. So 3 days in the sequence, what are those? Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So you have John, who left on Tuesday. Okay. Pinto left on the next day after John. So when did Pinto left? Pinto left on Wednesday. And Jason left on Thursday. That's again clear. Okay. Now we know the person Bangalore, who is going to Bangalore, will leave on the last day of the week. Now who is on the last day of the week? A person going to Bangalore. So this cannot be the option. This cannot be the option. Okay, this cannot be the option. The only option could be where both the spaces are blank, and that's with Naomi. So Naomi went to Bangalore. Okay, and that was on Sunday. So Naomi and Sunday paired. Now which of the cities is left? Nainital is left. So fill up Nainital here. And which of the days is left? That is Saturday. So fill up Saturday here. So Frida went on Saturday. Now whosoever answered Saturday first is the right answer. So since I was solving, I didn't go through the right answers. I believe it was Gurveen. Right. So for these questions, if you are solving it carefully and correctly, you need not even need the choices, because there is only one option that could be correct for these questions. Clear? So this was a very important question. Now based on this, you have another question. So the first question was, on which day of the week did Freda left? So you have the correct answer as Saturday, which we already discussed. Coming on to the next section, next question, which Who left for the town of Bangalore? So let me move back to the table here. So Bangalore, who left? It was Naomi. So Naomi is the right answer. So you would have Naomi as the right answer. The next question is, on which day of the week did Pinto leave? So question 7, which day of the week did Pinto leave? I am looking for the right answers for question 7 again. So question 7, if we go back onto the table, Pinto left on which day? You have Wednesday as the right answer, correct. So with this we cover this set of question. I believe this was clear. Now the next set of question is further more interesting. You have one of the most favorite things for you. So you have the 7 different brands and 7 different brands of jeans that you have to take into account. Now based on that you would have the question. So let's first calculate or find out the table again as we have done for the previous questions. Then we'll proceed with the remaining things. And the question here would be, how many jeans are there between M and G? So between M and G, how many jeans lie? So that would be the question. So I'll start just putting up the table here. So you have 1, 2, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So you have the 7 sections that are there, the 7 different jeans which are known as JKLMNOP, MNOG, sorry, and then the 7 brands that would be there. You have to arrange the things based on the information that is given here. So let's start doing it simultaneously. So jeans, which is Levis brand, is immediately above J. So let me put J here. Okay. Levis brand is immediately above it. So that's here. The question is, how many jeans are there between M and G? The question is, how many jeans are there between M and G? Okay. So the first statement we have done. The next statement says there are only 2 jeans between M and Levis brand, and M is above the Levis brand. So after Levis I leave 1 and 2 and I mark M here. That's clear. So we are done till here. Okay. So this section already covered. Only 3 jeans are there between L and Pepe jeans. Then jeans which is of Wrangler brand is immediately above L. So let me mark L here. Above L, immediately above L, you would have the Wrangler brand, and there are 3 jeans which are there between M and the Pepe brand. We also know that only 1 jean is there between K and N. Okay. So where could be K and N? K and N could be here and here. K and N could be here and here. So those are the only 2 locations where K and N could be. So I can mark K and N here, or I can mark K and N here. I already know K is above N. Okay. So that's important. And jeans which is of Killer brand is immediately above G. So above G you have the Killer brand. So if I say G is here, okay, this has to be a Killer brand. If I say G is here, this has to be a Killer brand. So above G there has to be a Killer brand, that's important. And between L and Pepe there has to be 3 columns. So if I put Pepe here, it would be 1, 2, 3 left. So L would be here. Okay, but none of that is a Mufti brand. So where could be L? I could mark L as here. Okay, I leave 1, 2 and 3, and therefore I have Pepe which is here. Okay, now immediately above the L you have the Wrangler brand. Now since Wrangler brand is here, okay, I cannot have G here. that's already gone. So where could be G? G could be only here, and this would be killer. So above G you would have the killer. Now this J is not the Mufti brand. Okay, neither K nor J is of the Mufti brand, and J is not the spy car. So you have already the Wrangler brand, that's gone. Okay, killer is gone. You have Wrangler, that is gone, killer, that is gone, Levis, that is gone, and Pepe, that is gone. So you are left with 3, of which J is neither spy car nor Mufti. So what is J? J is clearly Blackberry. So I'll write Blackberry here. Okay, that's clear. Now I have K, which is above N. I already know. So K would be here and N would be here. So what is left is O. So O comes here. Now I also know K is not of Mufti brand. So K cannot be Mufti. So what could be Mufti is M. So what could be what would be K? So the only thing that remains for K is spy car. So I mark spy car here. So you would have spy car here. Okay, and that's how you solve it. You have to have a very rational understanding of solving the questions while understanding. So Arshna, Gurveen, a lot of you, Ramya with the correct answer, great going. Okay, so the correct answer is how many genes are there between M and G? So you have 2 genes between M and G. The next is what is the brand for O genes? Now looking for question 9, the right answer. Question 9, looking for the right answer. So you already have the table that you have prepared. So based on the table, right, so Deepthi, Alka, a lot of you have the right answer here. So that's the right answer. Pepe is matching with O. And the last question is, which of the pair of brand and genes is not correct? So based on the table, you have to find out which of the pair is not correct. So question 10, the last question for today. Yes, Arshna. So first is Raj, a lot of you with the right answer. Great. So the first match is not correct. The rest of those are correct match. So these are the ways under which you solve analytical reasoning question. Most important, draw a table, draw a diagram and follow step-by-step conditions. If you are not able to fulfill the first condition on the first go, solve the remaining conditions and then switch back onto the first or the second condition, and then you will be able to solve it. So we'll be taking the next lecture on Thursday, and that next lecture would be on international organizations. Very important part for your GS paper 1. Every time you have at least 2 to 3 questions on that section, so make sure you cover that carefully. So we'll be meeting on Thursday at the same time. Have a wonderful day ahead.